In 1905, 100 acres in the middle of the state of Nevada became known as Las Vegas. Before that, I can only assume it was owned by the Native Americans. Anyway, it was a small town adjacent to the Union Pacific Railroad tracks, and in 1911 it was incorporated into a city. Now, it was actually started by members of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints as a halfway point between Salt Lake City and Los Angeles. But then in 1927, the railroad left, and the town was in trouble, especially when the Great Depression began. In 1931, two events happened to get the town back going again. First, Nevada legalized gambling, and second, the construction of the Boulder Dam, which became the Hoover Dam. The Hoover Dam was really significant because it brought in large amounts of men to work on it. And housing for these men were built in Boulder City. But Boulder City is a dry city. And here we have men making money, construction workers, and they're looking for some fun. And 30 miles away was Vegas. Things went well for a while until the Hoover Dam was completed. Then it seemed once again the town would die. It was saved again, and this time due to World War II. War? What is it good for? Apparently saving Las Vegas, because in 1941, the United States Air Force established the Las Vegas Army Air Corps Gunnery School, and this gave Las Vegas a solid economic base. And then after the war, things really took off when a fellow named Billy Wilkerson began building a casino. Eventually, Bugsy Siegel weaseled his way into the deal, somehow convincing Wilkerson to sell him 2/3 share. I guess we can figure out how he did that, huh? I should point out that the idea most people have of Bugsy Siegel staring out to the desert, conceiving in his head the idea of Las Vegas, is pure Hollywood fiction. It never happened. Anyway, Bugsy named the casino the Flamingo, and things really took off, except for Bugsy because he was shot in the head. Anyway, my wife Dawn, my daughter Pam, and myself spent 3 fun-filled days in Las Vegas, and frankly, we had a pretty good time. Well, hello there, Old Man Kelly here, Jeff to my friends, and you can call me Jeff. Well, this is part 2 of my vacation video. You might remember in part 1 we went to the extraterrestrial highway and visited the little alien. Now we're heading out to Las Vegas. We spent 3 nights in Vegas. We stayed in the luxurious Gold Nugget Hotel and Casino. Here's the mug I got from the place. Stylish, huh? My daughter Pam flew out and met us there. Now, I assume most people have been to Las Vegas or know enough about Las Vegas where I don't have to tell you what goes on there. But here's a quick montage of some of the video I shot. Now I want to point out that I'm not really a Vegas kind of guy. I don't get it. Most of my family and friends do, and that's great, whatever makes them happy. But what I'm saying is, although I don't get it, it's alright for you to like it, love it, or worship it, whatever you want. And I don't get slot machines. And inside every casino are rows and rows of slot machines. All that being said, I did have a good time. I played a little poker. Well, actually, I only played one poker tournament. My wife, Dawn, played a bunch. She loves poker. But while she was playing cards, I had time to bond a little with my daughter. Yes, some alcohol was involved. One thing the three of us did that we really enjoyed was we visited the Neon Museum. The museum opened on October 27th, 2012. What they're trying to do is save these old signs that, until this was started, were just rotting out in the desert. According to Wikipedia, these signs are considered by Las Vegas locals, business owners, and government organizations to be not only artistically but also historically significant to the culture of the city. Each of these restored signs in the collection holds a story about who created it and why it is important. The museum lobby was formerly the La Concha Motel. They actually cut the lobby into 8 pieces, moved it, and reassembled it in 2005. That's the famous Silver Slipper. It was put up in 2009. It was from the famous Silver Slipper Gambling Hall and Saloon that closed in 1988. Interesting story about the Silver Slipper. In 1968, Howard Hughes bought the casino for $5.4 million because he was afraid that somebody was up in the Silver Slipper taking pictures of him. Now, on our visit, I have a funny story. We woke up early in the morning and it wasn't hot out yet, so we decided to walk to the museum, which was about a half-mile away. We were following a police car on our walk, and what I mean by that is there was a police car in front of us, and the police car would keep stopping and they would get out so they could wake up the homeless people and send them on their way. The homeless is one of the darker sides of Las Vegas. Anyway, when we got done with the museum, it was very hot, so we decided to take an Uber back. Actually, we took a Lyft back. And we told the driver that we had walked there, and he said, "You don't want to be walking around here." Oops. But then he said that this area isn't so bad like some other areas of Vegas. And I'm sure we were okay because there was quite a few other people walking to the museum along with us, so it wasn't like we were by ourselves. A few highlights of our time in Vegas. While we were walking down the strip in the middle of the day, we stopped at the Coca-Cola store. They had a sample pack of different Coke products from all over the world, little glasses that were filled up of these different drinks that they sell all over the world. And me, Pam, and Dawn decided we each had to try each one, and we just pass around a little glass and try it. Most of them were okay, but there was one called Beverly that was horrible. I think I can still taste it. It's one of those bad tastes that just don't leave your mouth. One day while Dawn was playing poker, Pam and I decided to go to a small brewery. It's called Banger Brewing, and it's down at the end of Fremont Street. Now, I didn't take any pictures of it from the outside, so I stole this one off the internet. We got there at about 11:30, and they didn't open till noon, so we walked around a bit and came back at noon and found they still weren't open. So we just hung around and waited. And as we waited, we began to wonder if standing in front of a brewery at noon, waiting for it to open, said something about the kind of people that we are. Anyway, once we were in, we were the only people there. So the manager and us had a good conversation. He was a great guy. He was also a home brewer, which I am too, so we had a lot to talk about. I think I had 3 or 4 IPAs, and Pam had a bunch of different, I think, fruity beers. Anyway, we found out why it was called Banger Brewery. And that's because the guy who started its nickname is Banger, because apparently he's a big guy who was known for walking around and bumping into things, so people started calling him Banger as a nickname, so it stuck. Anyway, while I was there, I bought this nice glass, Jealous, and this is an IPA too. Yeah, we had a lot of fun just walking around Fremont Street, me and Pam, having drinks, drinking margaritas out of plastic footballs, watching live music. They had a nice bar right outside the Golden Nugget that we like to sit at. They had these bench seats, and there was a stage with a band part of the time right across from us, and there was a food stand we were getting good barbecue food at. They had these Coronas that were 24 ounce for a really good price. I think, I can't remember now, but it was a good price, and I had a bunch of Coronas. And eventually, the last night we were there, we walked up and down the strip at night in front of the Bellagio and all those, seeing the volcano and the water show and all the sights that go on there at night. It was pretty crowded, though. I don't think I could have taken it for more than an hour or two. And then on our last day, the day we were leaving, heading out to Fresno, California, we stopped at the Hoover Dam. Now here's something. Where I'm filming now, and now here's another angle. That's where I was just filming, and look where I'm at. They have this nice bridge that you can walk on. You can see the whole Hoover Dam from way up. Anyway, it was fun to visit the dam. I finally got to see this marvel, and I couldn't help but think of the time that Beavis and Butthead visited the Hoover Dam in their movie. Hey, that's just me. Anyway, we started our 6-hour drive to visit my son in Fresno, and this is the end of part 3. Thanks for watching my video. I'm going to do something different for my next video, and then I'll do part 3 of my vacation video. See you again. Bye.